Hello and welcome to TSG Foundation's Wisdom of the Zodiac class. Today's lesson is going to be given from Wisdom of the Zodiac by Gita Saraydarian, Volume 2, Chapter 36, titled Virgo, 5 Characteristics. This is a lovely chapter, and as you know, Virgo is a sign of woman, sign of femininity, sign of love and compassion. And during this month, you can think about 5 beautiful topics that will enhance the value and energy of Virgo for you. Now let me talk about each of these 5 topics and encourage you to take each one and meditate on it during 5 days of the full moon. So that will mean 2 days before the full moon, the day of, and the 2 days after. If you prefer to meditate for 7 days, then repeat the first one and the last one and start 3 days before the day of the full moon and 3 days after. Whichever program or process you decide to use, they are all valuable and all beautiful. And I really suggest that you take that time during each month, no matter what you're doing. Put aside your work and devote 10 minutes of your day toward your spiritual transformation. After years and years of doing these beautiful Wisdom of the Zodiac classes, and before that the Symphony of the Zodiac classes, I can tell you that they really enhance my life. They just make you poised and focused on what it is that is most important in your life, and that is the cultivation of inner qualities that will make you a beautiful and noble person, and let your soul really shine out and not let all the other stuff of your life be the forefront of everything that you express. So let me talk about these 5 characteristics. The first one is purity. The second one is creativity. Third one is compassion. Fourth one is faithfulness. And the fifth one is heroism. Hero, being a hero. So let me talk then first about purification. You cannot really transform your life through information alone. Information is just information, it's knowledge. But information, when it's applied through a beautiful and pure mental, emotional, and physical bodies, you will see that your life will be transformed. So purification is the first level in this time of Virgo to bring changes into your life. What does it mean to purify yourself? Well, each of us has a different place to purify. Your urges and drives, your proclivities to think in one way or the other. So think in your life physically first. What do I need to do to purify my physical life, my physical environment, the order and the beauty in which I live? Second, go to your emotions. For example, our emotions sometimes are full of fear and anger and hatred, greed and jealousy. Do you see that in the life now? I certainly do. Everywhere in the world, I see fear, anger, and people take advantage of us when we are in fear and anger. And when we have hatred and greed and jealousy, these 5 vices will eat away at the fabric of our life. And they're eating away at the fabric of the whole world. The hatred that people have toward each other can only be removed by individual purification processes. And these are so important. Torkham writes on page 420. If you have your book, take it up and follow along with me at the bottom of the page. As long as you have these 5 devils, and he calls them devils, in your name, in your nature, you will never progress spiritually. It's pretty hard words, but it's absolutely true. Look at how people have these devils. They are evil. When we are in anger and hatred and greed and jealousy, they are actually evil, and they let loose the evil in our life and the evil in society. It's a very serious topic. So if we don't go anywhere else in these 5 topics except for this one, it's really plenty even for us. So he says you can collect lots of information in your mind and even be flooded with knowledge. We don't have a dearth of knowledge in this world. People are going to universities and colleges and reading books and materials every minute on the internet, in books and e-books and so on. But have we changed our life according to the knowledge? Not very much. So if we do not use purification, all the knowledge and all the information we will be flooded with that knowledge, but you will not progress on the path of transformation until these devils are eliminated. It doesn't say just lessened, it needs elimination. So we have physical purification, emotional purification. We also have mental purification. Look at the unbelievable amount of toxic speech and toxic thought people have towards others, even toward themselves. Let's start even with ourselves, and how much they are controlled by those mental toxic forms. So look at your life and see where you need to apply purification. It is so important, so basic and so simple, yet all the ageless wisdom teachings, all the religious disciplines have some form of purification instructions in them. So try to adhere to that process of purification in some part of your life and meditate on that first day. At the end of today's summary, I will give a brief meditation that you can follow each of those 5 or 7 days. Certainly, you can focus for an entire week on the subject of purification. Now, what's the second step? Second step is outlined on page 421 at the bottom of the page, and that is creativity. Sometimes we think creativity is creating art forms, music, dance, and so on. It's the creative arts, but that's not all there is. That's just one part of it. Creativity means how you use creative solutions to your daily needs. How do you creatively get a job that fits your needs and fits your requirements and your training? How do you creatively get along with your children, with your spouse, with your loved ones? How do you creatively get along with people you work with every day? How do you creatively solve a very serious problem in your life, whether it's a physical, emotional, or mental problem, or even a spiritual problem that you're facing? So creativity is the way you resolve conflict in your life and bring beauty and peace as a result of the way you solve that problem. Okay, so it's a very different definition of creativity. So creativity is, think about, do you complain too much? Do you worry too much? Do you talk too much? Do you get off topic all the time when you talk? So you are going to use the symptoms in your life, observe them, and then recreate your life according to your deep inner wisdom. Each of you has a deep inner wisdom. You have to access it by putting it into practice. Release the fire of your soul, release the energy of your soul, and use that creative energy that you release to solve your problems and create the kind of life that you want. I think that's beautiful. Now, the third characteristic of Virgo energy, which is something that you can meditate on the third day, which is the day of the full moon, or the third day of your practice, and that is compassion. Compassion is so beautiful. Let me read that for you on page 422 at the bottom of the page. Compassion must be practiced on 3 levels: physical, emotional, and mental. Compassion is extreme, inclusive, loving understanding. Okay, it's not just wishy-washy nonsense. Compassion is that deep understanding that you have about the condition that you observe in your loved ones, in society, in the terrible sadness and misery that we see all around us. Can you be compassionate to understand that? And through that compassion, look what happens. A creative response from your capacity will come out. Compassion means to protect the rights of every living form. We don't do that in general in our society, but we need to think about that. The mother concept, the mothering, creative, giving birth concept is something that all of us, men and women, can take into active consideration in our life. Virgo gives this energy so that we learn compassion on the 3 levels of our life. Okay, so you're going to think about what it means to be compassionate in the way you talk, in the way you observe, in the way you think, in the way you send out thought forms, telepathic thought forms to other people who are suffering, who may not be like you, who may be very different from you, may be thinking different from you. So I feel that we sorely need compassion in our life, in every single place in our life. This is one of the most important things that we can think about at this time of the full moon. Now the next characteristic is number 4, and that is faithfulness. Wow, to be faithful. That is so beautiful. Listen to what Torquem says on page 424. Try to keep a diary of your faithfulness. How faithful are you to your conscience? We have a conscience. We have deep inner principles and belief systems. Well, the next step is how faithful are we to that? Yes, we know a lot of things, but do we carry through what we really know, what our conscience tells us? How faithful are you to beauty in everything that you do, goodness in everything, and truth? Are you truthful? Are you really conscientious about that and faithful to the truth? How faithful are you to the rights of other people? Boy, that's a hard one. As soon as we hear about people we don't like, we're not faithful to our principles. We immediately turn around and talk about beauty and goodness, and we are not faithful to it when we see something we don't like. We immediately change our tune or our words or our language, do we not? Well, this is pretty tough. See, the wisdom of the Zodiac is not simple, easy, la-la spiritual stuff. It is serious, serious transformation of your life. Do you like to survive but kill others? It's not just killing through our actions or our swords or our guns, although we do that quite often in this humanity, don't we? But we kill people through our thoughts, our language, our words, and the observations that we make, the unkindness that we have. Can we turn that around? Do you like to be happy but want others to be unhappy? They're really, really tough ways to look at faithfulness. We may think it's just being physically faithful to our loved ones, our spouse, and our friends, but faithfulness is a deep, deep subject, and we need to think about it. When we think about people we admire most, great ones, heroes that we admire most, the most important thing that they were faithful to were their principles. They never pulled back from their principles. So think about faithfulness on the 4th day of your observation. On the 5th day, what are you going to do? On the 5th day, you are going to talk about and think about being a hero. What does it mean to be a hero? Page 424, middle of the page. A hero means one who is dedicated to the welfare of every living thing in the entire universe. That's pretty big. It's pretty big. Can you be a hero to your children? Can you listen to them and guide them and help them no matter how you're feeling? Can you be a hero to your loved one, not caring about how you feel and just see how you can take care of your loved ones? Can you be a hero to your friends, your co-workers? Can you be a hero in your thoughts and how strongly you stand by your principles? These are very beautiful definitions of being a hero. Listen to what Torquem says in the middle of that page. The whole science of astrology is meaningless if you are not changing your nature and eventually achieving a state of beingness that can be called heroism. See, people adhere to astrology and say all the wonderful knowledge that they have about it, but can they practice? The test is when you can practice. Knowledge alone is not enough. Heroism is the ultimate flower of your tree, the tree of your life. If you are not going to flower that you are in your essence, everything that you are doing in this life is a failure. He talks in very, very strong terms, but spiritual teachers have hard edges, and they need to teach us something, so we have to listen. It's not just goody two-shoes that they want to tell us. They want to shake us up and tell us to change. Heroism means to live for the sake of all living beings through sacrificial deeds. So this is beautiful when you demonstrate your heroism. This is on page 425. Through your actions and life, you will see that Virgo is not really an image. It's not just a sign. It's not just an astrological sign somewhere in space whose rays and qualities that you know by heart. It is actually an image, but it is also a 5-pointed radiation. It radiates, it pulsates, it gives you energy. Then you will try to change your whole nature through the symbolic image of Virgo. So when you think of Virgo at this time of the full moon, at this time of the zodiac, don't think of just a bunch of stars in the sky and you can say all the wonderful things about it astrologically. Go a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper. And if you don't believe in simple astrology, that's okay. Go into the wisdom of the zodiac. That is really a deeper and beautiful and more potent science. And try to understand these 5 radiations of Virgo. What are they again? Let me repeat them. First one is purity, purification. Second one is creativity. Third one is compassion. Fourth one is faithfulness. And fifth one is heroism, being a hero. All right? Now let's do our meditation. This meditation is taken from pages 425 to 426. So what we are going to do is relax, sit erect, keep your spine erect, and put a nice smile on your face. Relax your face. Don't have a heavy burden in your heart. And take a deep breath. And we are going to sound 3 ohms with each one, either silent or out loud. With each one, 1 ohm as you release, purify your physical body. Second one, emotional body. Third one, mental body. And let that beautiful energy of Virgo come into you and release out of you. Okay, let's do that, and then I will guide us through the rest of the meditation. So stand, sit erect, take a deep breath and relax, put a smile on your face. First Om, take a deep breath. Second, purification of the emotional body. Third, purification of the mental body. Visualize yourself radiant in all your 3 bodies. Take the first seed thought and meditate how I can purify my life as I begin to celebrate and observe the full moon of Virgo. How do I purify my life, and where do I begin? Take it step by step. Think of concrete ways you may purify your physical body first. 3 ways. Second, 3 ways to purify your emotional body. If you have any vices, hatred or anger, try to remove those. Then proceed to your mind, your thoughts, your words, your conversations. How do you purify them? now say the great invocation. And as we say each phrase, please visualize sending light and love and divine purpose into the lives of all human beings, warring states, people who are having terrible difficulties in their life. Try to radiate your goodness and your beauty throughout the whole planet as we say this invocation together with deep concentration. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. Visualize a light descending from the great ones to everyone on this planet. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. Imagine the peace, the love, and the compassion of the Great One pouring through the hearts of humanity and removing hatred and belligerence from their hearts. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. Visualize divine purpose, divine guidance. Guide all men and women in this world, especially troubled areas of the world. From the center, which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Visualize sealing the door to evil. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. May the love, the truth, and the will of the Creator enhance our life in everything that we are doing. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and I hope you read these beautiful books, Wisdom of the Zodiac, and meditate with me every month. I look forward to seeing you next time, and have a wonderful week of Virgo celebration. Thank you for joining me.